Okay, guys, it's 6:13 a.m. It's Tuesday, and today is September 3rd, 2024. And, I wasn't characterizing this area specifically for movement in and out, but what I can tell you is that there isn't any signs of it in or out through the desert which surrounds it. And this area has been covered up with sand all the way back, we know for sure, to 83, and it became uncovered around the end of 2022, and that's according to my, kind of quick calculations off of the time-lapse imagery available on Google Earth. And so I wanted us to get a good look at this, okay, because it's very important. Let's take a look. We see the arch there. That's a fascinating thing to see. I mean, the arch was something that, if I'm not mistaken, was attributed to an Islamic architectural style. I'm not 100% about that, but I'm pretty sure. I think that it was Eastern nonetheless. And the elements at this site are, there's no precedent for this with the type of things that we're seeing in such clarity and such detail. And so we can see all these white lines here, and that indicates that there's been some movement, you would think. Sure, how recent, it's hard to tell, but it's pretty easy to see movement in the desert. Other than, it's covered up quickly when the wind blows, of course, but there are signs of movement, but it's not traditional. It's not what we're used to. And so there's a whole series of different anomalies associated with that. And I'll get to that perhaps in a moment in another video, but I want to focus on this area. I want to focus on the underground components, and I want to be on record to state that I am an intuitive person. It's how I found this place. And there's a lot of movement under the ground here. I'm just going to say that. And I want to be on record for that. There's a lot of movement underground. And so is this a functioning system of sorts right here? What is this element here? We can see that it's been constructed somehow. What is that? It almost looks like it might be something holding down a wrist, as big as it is, but still. And it's hard to characterize that, isn't it, guys? So look, I'm talking about this feature right there. Okay, you guys see that? What in the world is that? It looks as if there is a raised way that goes up to it, and that it was functional for some type of purpose. And I've got to tell you, it looks a lot like a Stargate does in the movies. And so, is that a possibility? I would say yes, 100% it is. We see pillars, we see construction, we see a style which we haven't seen. Is this fresh? How fresh is it? Who excavated this site here? And if it wasn't us, who was it? And who's that? Okay. We've got some stuff going on here on Earth right now that has been foretold for a long time. It's stuff that a lot of us already know, but we're dealing with inner Earth stuff. And people want to look up to the stars, that's fine, but you need to understand the mantle of the Earth, just the mantle, is 25 miles thick. Okay. And so there's a whole lot underground, and building into the surface layer of the remains in these giants, which are completely evident right here, is something that's been going on for time immemorial, I can assure you. And so, when we look and we see these, it looks like cables, doesn't it, guys? You see that? Who's doing that? And was this like a freeze frame of them in the middle of some type of a thing? I mean, look at this. Look at God, we haven't ever seen anything like this. Look at that. What in the hell? I can barely believe I found this, and I found so much. Tons, hundreds of sites I've found. But this one itself is just, I'd hate to say I'd trade them all in for this one. I'm not going to do that, but look at the grill on that guy. That's a head right there. I don't care what what anybody tells you. I don't care what discipline they're from or where they're from. Quote me on it. Okay, I'm guaranteeing you. I know that for a fact. And so, just this anomalous feature right there is so much. It's just it rewrites the history books, guys, completely. And it's a fascinating finding. And so, I just wanted to go on record for that. We do see, a couple of different sites around here. I'm going to show you one more before I terminate the video. We see that there's been, movement going on, and there's these little areas that go into the underground, seemingly here, and there's a whole bunch of them, and it's like a meerkat, mound, but they're much bigger and they're all over the place. And I'm not sure what that is. I haven't been on the ground there, and so I don't have a reference point for it. I should, probably do a little bit more research on that. But what I can tell you is that there's signs of habitation at other sites as well. And let me give you another example of that real quickly, and there's several other little sites around the area, but we can characterize this area pretty quick. There's entrances into the remains that are shown here. Okay, not an uncommon thing, but something corroborative of movements underground in this area is what I'm alluding to here in this instance, and that's what I'm picking up off of it. And God only knows what's really going on there. And so we can see that there's still movement. We can see, look at this guy. Look at him. Okay, this is Google Earth. Okay, what in the bleep is going on here? Is a question everybody needs to be asking on Earth today. And we need we need boots on the ground. We need to go out here and see what this is. And evidently this hasn't happened. But what's this? And is that snow? I don't think so. I think that that's something else, guys. And I don't know what it is. It's not snow. This is Sahara Desert. So what the hell is it? And what's going on? Is it a biological, type of material? And look, I'm going to tell you flat out, that's a head. That's a forehead. There's two eyes there. Bink and bink. Oh, well, right there. Okay? So, the genetic dysmorphology is real evident here, but we can also see that it does have the humanoid characteristics. And we can see that there's more stuff down here, can't we? Oh, yeah. Look at this. Okay? Big time. And so definite signs of habitation. How recent? That's a good question, again. And so look here. What in the world is this? Look at it. So major archaeological find. A lot of times when we see that, we want to say that that's a structure. It's bones. Subsequent cultures will go in and build into the bones. That's why it becomes confusing. I can assure you that that's the case. It's the same thing we see at Göbekli Tepe. Those guys have been kind of leaking it out to us, but all those T-shaped megaliths, those are inside skulls. And, you can see, is that an arm? Maybe I was wrong. And this is not a cranial feature. It's possible. It's easy to be imaginative with this, and it's easy to become confused. And this is why peer review is so important, but clearly there are anomalies here that don't fit the mainstream or academic point of view. Let's just take a good look at that. God in heaven. Are you serious? Look at this. Jesus. Look at that. God. You know what I mean? Oh. Okay, guys. I'm going to put it out there, but, we have the potential for a lot of underground movement. We have the potential for, Earth energy being tapped into for teleportation type purposes and so on. And, this is something that I'm not shy to talk about because we have a substantiated basis for this. We can take that back to the Defense Intelligence Agency. And, they have documents that they've released related to that subject, and they did that for a reason. And that goes right back to Project Stargate with the figurative term there, but it really was all about findings that they knew that were coming in the future. And that stuff has been declassified in part, but it hasn't been decrypted fully with different methods. And so let's take another quick look at this area, and I'll let you guys go. But fascinating, off the charts. What a thing to be a part of, no matter who we are. And the thing is, we're all a part of this, whether we even acknowledge it to ourselves or not. This is something that's going to affect everybody, because I can assure you, there's people right now, you guys are concerned somebody's watching your phone because you're selling a sack of weed, whatever it is. Let me tell you something. You know what I'm saying? This is big time. Okay? This is huge. And I'm not uncomfortable about it, because I've been dealing with this for almost a year. But nothing comes close to this finding being uncovered in the Sahara Desert. And you hear a lot of talk about, the Atlantis was in the Sahara and all this, that, and the other. I mean, I don't want to get into that too much or conjecture. These are major findings, and that's the bottom line. I mean, look, okay, that's a giant, guys. They're all over the place. Look at this cranial feature right there. And so it's just, we've got all types of stuff. I love y'all, man. I appreciate your support. I need money, okay? I have spent every freaking dime I have on this obsessively, and I know, and I still know that it's been for a purpose. I know that I do this selflessly for other people as much as I can. I mean, I'm not a perfect person at all, and I still do, my share of things that I probably wish I didn't, but I have to live. And I'm so dedicated and passionate about this that it just has consumed me in a way that I know that it's that important. Think about your kids. You think this doesn't affect them? Why isn't this on your TV? It better be soon. You know what I mean? They better be talking about this, guys. You know something was up big time, don't you? Keep that frame of mind, and we've barely even scratched the surface here, guys. Okay, later.